From my personal favorite, Ronaldinho, Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo da Lima, Lionel Messi, Javi, Iniesta, guys, we've been so lucky to live in a time where there have been so many talented footballers. But guys, you all agree with me, only one of them could be mentioned in the same breath as Cristiano Ronaldo. Tonight on Inside Sport, this episode belongs to CR7, one of the best footballers to ever play the game. He is a legend in every right at Manchester United. And guess what? He might be honored with the greatest honor from an Arab nation or from a Muslim country. Subscribe to the hotspot as I tell you more about it. Now, Ronaldo joined Al Nassr in December of last year, 2022, in a world record deal, not in terms of fee, because his contract had been terminated by Manchester United. So, literally, he was a free agent. That meant he would milk most of the money that came through from the deal. So, Ronaldo signs a contract worth about £178 million per year. Now, that money is insane. Thinking about it, a 38-year-old footballer attracting that amount of money per year, it should be more than just the football. And indeed, it is. This is why Ronaldo had a huge KPI when he joined. That's a key performance indicators when he joined Al Nassr. One of them, of course, as a striker, was to score goals. And in his first season at the club, he played 16 games, scored 14 goals, and assisted twice. In terms of first season and goals, I think that he passed with flying colors. In his next season that is going on, he has played 8 games, scored 10 goals, and assisted 5 times. So that is 15 goal contributions in 8 games. So in terms of goals, I think that's a plus, a tick, a long one, a green tick with flying colors in terms of his taking his KPI when it comes to scoring goals. Of course, as a Ronaldo, he's the most probably the most mature player on the team, most expert. He's Ronaldo. He had to captain them. He had to lead the team, and indeed, he's the captain and he's leading by example. No better way to captain than that, leading by example. Then the third key performance indicator that Cristiano Ronaldo had was to attract, to be able to force an influx of players from the big leagues around the world to go to Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia, through their public investment fund, have always invested in trying to attract football to them. They have the money, this oil money, but people have not exactly been so receptive of this Arab world. You saw what happened with Qatar hosting the World Cup and how everyone else was trying to beat them and make them look so bad, anti-human rights and, organizations saying the World Cup can't go to Qatar and all. But eventually they had arguably the best World Cup I personally have seen, and it had a proper divine ending to it with Lionel Messi lifting it. Isn't that the happy ending to one of the best tournaments to ever be seen? So same with Saudi, and Saudi probably even have more money by far than Qatar. So Saudi Arabia feel Qatar showed them they can do it, and that's why they have invested over 6 billion US dollars in this public investment fund to try and grow football. They have bought clubs like Newcastle United. They have 4 clubs in the top league in Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Pro League, including Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr, including Al Ittihad. And these clubs have spent, in the last summer, spent about £784 million on players. And this was only successful because they first signed the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo, who confidently came out in his first press conference to say because he has joined the Saudi League, he's going to attract and show other players in Europe that actually football is not only in Europe. You can earn money, but also play good competitive football in Saudi Arabia. But also Saudi Arabia is not about bombs and fighting like many people want to paint the Arab world. And indeed, this is working. Players like Neymar from PSG goes to Saudi Arabia. Sadio Mane joined Cristiano Ronaldo at Al Nassr. Al Ittihad also signed a couple of players there. Al Ettifaq, getting Steven Gerrard as manager. Jesse Lingard is about to join him as well there. Players like N'Golo Kante, Roberto Firmino, the all-time Brazilian top scorer in English football. Players like Fabinho, so many players, Kalidou Koulibaly, some of them even in the prime of their careers, chose to leave Europe, the lights and and fancy life in Europe, to go in Saudi. That is all credited to Cristiano Ronaldo, and that is the impact beyond the pitch. I've told you of his impact on the pitch. He has had so much impact wherever he's been, from his native Portugal at Sporting Lisbon to Manchester United to becoming the all-time goal scorer at Real Madrid with 450 goals, beating Eusebio, Benzema, Raul Gonzalez, to Juventus where he broke every record there is to break in Italian football. So in terms of doing things on the pitch, Ronaldo has done it, but he has superseded his achievements on the pitch by what he has led when it came off the pitch, but also off Europe, away from Europe in Saudi Arabia. The impact he has had on football there is huge. Now, the epitome of it will be Saudi Arabia succeeding in hosting the 2034 FIFA World Cup, because they have officially confirmed that they will be bidding to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup. Now, if that bid goes through and Saudi Arabia wins it, all credit should go mostly to Cristiano Ronaldo. And trust me, he will be honored by this Saudi, because he has done it on the pitch. He has scored the goals. Off the pitch, he has impacted, attracted players, top players in their league. Then they get to host the World Cup. What more will they want? In terms of ticking everything on his key performance indicators, he will have done that with flying colors. So Ronaldo is building a legacy that probably can only be compared to the likes of Michael Jordan, what he did in basketball, the likes of Pele, what he tried to do when he first went to the US way back, then. Messi is also having a huge impact on football in the US. Of course, people can argue because players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic have been there. So many other former great players have been in the US. But for Cristiano Ronaldo, it's a bit different, because Saudi Arabia, whoever thought that a player like Sadio Mane would end up in Saudi Arabia at this time? A player like Neymar would end up in Saudi Arabia at this time. And it's not just about the money, but because this league has been qualified by the presence of Cristiano Ronaldo. And now it's not even, leave alone achieving, what the Saudi government set out to do. Even Ronaldo as a person seems to be enjoying life in Saudi, because his son now has joined the academy of Al Nassr. It wasn't a given, because his son has been with him every club he has been to. At Man United, his son was at the academy. Real Madrid, Juventus, where he, by the way, scored 25 goals in 8 games. That's unheard of. Now, besides that, I mean, you don't think it was always going to be obvious that Ronaldo joining Al Nassr, even his son would go to their academy, because Ronaldo can afford to pay for his son to be playing football in Juventus or in Spain at Real Madrid, flying every day or every weekend, flying in between the two countries, Saudi Arabia and Spain. He can afford to do that. But the fact that he has trusted Al Nassr with his 13-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., his heir apparent both on and off the pitch, obviously shows you that this football in Saudi Arabia is growing. It's making sense. Ronaldo is so detailed in terms of standards when it comes to facilities. You saw what he said after he left Manchester United unceremoniously. The facilities were a disappointment to him. He cannot afford to give you his son unless he's sure what you're doing is right. So that, for me, is an endorsement that actually Saudi football is going places. But also, most importantly, again, one thing I know about Muslims and their culture and that religion. I'm not a Muslim, but I've got so many Muslim friends. I think one of my closest friends right now is a Muslim. Guys, I think the Muslim culture, the Muslim teachings just humble you as a person. And if you're Cristiano Ronaldo, the only thing you need at his age, the money he has at 38, the stardom, the good looks and everything, he's a bit arrogant naturally and proud. Some people call it arrogance and pride. Me, I call it confidence. The only thing that can humble him, is obviously always going to be religion, and the Muslim religion is what obviously will humble him. And for me, that's a very important thing. So Cristiano Ronaldo is certainly going to be feeling at home. He's already feeling at home in Saudi Arabia, and what that would mean is he's a happy lad, and he's going to be embracing everything he gets. So after achieving everything he has achieved on the pitch, the next thing for Cristiano Ronaldo now to achieve is the honor of being called a Sheikh. Yes, Sheikh Cristiano bin Ronaldo. Trust me, when Saudi Arabia wins that 2034 bid, don't be surprised if Ronaldo is honored with that title. The Sheikh is given to people to leaders. If you're a leader of a group, if you are 50 plus, of course, and of course, if you're younger than 50, you must master the Quran. So Ronaldo obviously should be studying the Quran now. So trust me, Ronaldo has earned himself a special place in Saudi Arabia, and of course, he did do so long ago at Manchester United. Hotspot, subscribe. My name is Webb. I will catch you later, guys.